I decided to make something very personal, autobiographical. I was inspired by a French philosopher, sociologue, Didier Ribon. A few years ago, I read about his adolescence as a gay man in a proletarian milieu and very homophobic. And I was very interested in these issues because I come from the same background. The video room, it's a 10 minutes long video, and they are in a changing room before, taking a shower, after exercising. And so I was interested in this idea of attraction. So there is a relation with these towels, colorful towels. It's also a symbol of bodies. The exhibition is called Surfing. It's because from one room to the other, people are, like from the video, they just fall in the atelier, for example, so they get very shy, because atelier, it's like secret artists, so I'm not very much on that. So I try to sometimes grab people, and so because some people just want to run away and say, no, it's a part of the exhibition, and then they relax. And then the third room, I'm dealing with the issue and telling about a particular event in my life, very dramatic, because I didn't see my father for a while. I was very successful I danced at this time with a very famous ballet company called Béjart, Ballet du XXe siècle, and touring around the world and all this. And I had bought this little house that I renovated, and I invited my father. And I remember exactly because he only came one time. And a few years after he died, I was very curious to know what he had written, because he had very simple diary. He had been a sailor, so he talks about the weather. And I saw he had written visit au PD. See? And PD is pedal is it's homosexual. So it was a big shock for me, because whatever you want to prove to a man who, for him, I could be very successful and buy a house and think I was still, the strange one. So from that room, we go to the fantasy room, where all my imagination, because I have a lot of imagination, a lot of fantasy, and I like to draw. So it's a full room. It's called the rabbit hole. It's like Alice in Wonderland, and in that room there is all kind of story, narrative. So the other side is dealing with things that are always light, pattern, colors, controlling a space, and I'm talking about a story where it was also quite dramatic with my father when for Christmas, where we were relaxed, and I just say, it would be nice to be a fashion designer. And he got so upset, because for him it was like, so I'm very concerned for the drama of young people who sometimes they have not been lucky, like me, who just left and I wanted to be an actor, and then I started to dance. Other people, they get to a factory and they get married, and they are unhappy married because they like men, or girls and they start to drink, or some young people, they just kill themselves because they feel so different. And then you go in the next one, there are 3 small rooms. So it's a little humoristic, a little Dadaist, ambivalence between decoration and fabrics again, and underwear. It's a bathing suit, so it's again like the fascination of a beach and bodies and sexual attraction, which I'm talking also on this one. The next room, it's the chaotic landscape of trash objects that I have been collecting for the last 21 years. I'm not activist with ecology of things, but I'm very, very concerned about the way our society is totally using things, throwing things. And I believe this object will become very interesting for ethnologue or archaeologue to look at them in 50 years. The last small room, so there I present 3 big photos, but if you analyze each object, they are all things we have thrown out. For example, the one with the little balls is the balls of deodorant. You know, if you manipulate things, it looks nice. And then there is the one in the center. If you look at, there is a kind of net. This where when you buy garlic, for example, they have this net garlic. So all the objects are made of what we throw away. And then we get in a big room, and then I just, it's like a kind of a conclusion where I'm using fabrics. I made this sculpture with fabrics. So it's a relation with actually with fabrics of the towers of the video, with a pattern. I use paint on this thing, on these fabrics I'm using. And there are again this idea of falling down and pli. I think if I would have had a normal parcours or trajectoire, I might have been a designer, an architect or decorator, but I didn't have that. But I found another ways, and I think I would have been bored.